I started doing with our courts, I realized we weren't celebrating Black history. I didn't understand that. I said, why aren't we celebrating Black history? And so I started putting together Black History Month programs so that we can remember all the things that people like Judge Thomas did during times when they were so different from what we have right now. And we're not where we need to be, but we certainly are not where they were. And I think I went to law school and it was a tough time. I mean, I really struggled financially going through law school, and my undergraduate school, I was the one of 8 Black people on campus out of 1,200. It was a small private school, but there was 1,200 people. There were only 8 Blacks on campus. I thought that was hard. But can you imagine how hard it was for Judge Thomas, who the only person in his law school class during this period of time, and during graduation, nobody talking to him, sitting by himself, and having that type of, I guess, spotlight on you and everything that you do. Because all I could think about is how insurmountable it all seems, but somehow they did it. And that's my point. We cry over the least little things that seem to be an injustice. But if you watch what people like Judge Thomas went through, and Justice Marshall went through, and all of these civil rights leaders went through, it doesn't compare to what we are sitting here complaining about. And it's sometimes I even hate talking about my quote unquote struggle, because it's really, compared to them, it wasn't a struggle. It was a struggle to me, but what they went through was so much greater than anything I experienced. That we are not educating ourselves on our history. We are operating in a very selfish mode where everything kind of revolves around ourselves. And until we start thinking about progress as a group, because if we started talking about progress as a group, there's no way that I would not have known who Judge Thomas was. There's no way I wouldn't know who Gwendolyn Sawyer Cherry was. There's no way I wouldn't know who Judge John Johnson was. There's no way I wouldn't know who Jesse McCrary is, or was. And that's another reason why I started doing these Black History Month programs, because I recognized how little I knew. And no, I didn't grow up in South Florida, but I've been here for 25 years. This is my professional world. And how do you not know all of the sacrifices, all of the accomplishments, all of the failures that so many people went through, so that 1, you don't repeat them, 2, you actually build off of their understanding. Things that Judge Thomas said, that I read that he said, I think are just as true today, in terms of the ability of white judges to fully appreciate and be able to understand the Black man that's standing in front of them. That to me is, okay, those were words that were voiced back some 60, 70 years ago, but it's the same concern that we are expressing today. And so not to know that, and I'm being more candid with you than maybe I'm not going to appreciate it later when people start talking about William Thomas, but I really didn't know that. And there was so much that I didn't know. So I endeavored to know it.